Hey guys, this is your friend Dynamite, back yet again for another video review. And as you can see by the looks of things, I'm doing this kind of a different standard, mostly because of the size of this guy. Everybody knows who this is and how massive this guy is. I've tried it several times in my video area trying to do a review, and this is like my 5th attempt at doing this. So I decided to move in here. I even got some help in doing this, so bear with me on this, and I apologize for the echo or whatever with this, and we're going to do the best we can with this video review. But as you can see, we're going to look at G1. This is actually the reissue of G1 Headmaster Fort Max, or Fortress Maximus. As I mentioned before, when I first got this guy back from BBTS, I wanted this guy so much when I was growing up, and I never got him, but I now officially have him. But we're just going to do this as fast as possible. As you can see, we have Fort Max here in his city mode. He is pretty massive, and he's got really nice city mode. I've always liked the way this originally looked. This is just the main base figure. This is nothing added on to him. All of his accessories I got sitting over here, which we'll get into very shortly. But as you can see, he's very massive. You got 2 regular loading ramps here, or driving ramps for your vehicles, which sadly enough, I don't have any G1 style cars I can basically fit in here. I pulled out my little legend size Optimus Prime here. He's about the closest really I could really get to the size of this, aside from a couple of his accessories, which I can go ahead and pull out as well. I'll set Prime here. A couple of his accessories are his little mini scamper here that combines to form another mini robot form. He's got 2 little vehicle modes that you use for it. They can also sit on these little loading ramps here. You can set one on this side, and I'll just set Prime on this side. You can see by these red plastic pieces here, it's going to slide the figure off. It's nothing wrong with that. This is what's designed basically to launch the figure out. You can also put one up in here. And there's a little trick here to it as well, which we'll get into as I rotate it around here in a moment. I just wanted to show you how the figure looked basically from the front. But we got this detail situated. So we'll go ahead and, we also got another little ramp here that you can use for, you can put one of them in here as well if you wanted to. This is another accessory port here that's going to be used for another accessory which we'll get to. We also have the rear command tower here, or like main skyscraper. You have a landing pad that sits here, which oddly enough, with some of the accessories, which we'll show off here more here in a moment, the way this sits needs to be better positioned, which will again, here in a moment we'll get to a little bit more detail on that. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this to his right side, basically, or my right side. You have more of the ramp on this side. You also have right here basically a prisoner cage for prisoners that you can put them in here. I'm just going to set Steel Scamper here in. You can lock them up and whatnot. It's a nice little addition basically for a city mode. Though, it's pretty cool to have that. You got steps of course going up to it off the panel. Rotate that back up, and we'll flip around to the back side, where you have basically the back part of Fort Max, which is, as you can tell, basically is his legs. You have these cannons here, which will raise up for his battle station or spaceship mode. If I can get my finger, there we go. Which are pretty cool. It's nice for that. But that's basically it. You also have the tower here, basically the command center here for Spike to put him in, which I'll go ahead and show him off. You can put a little Spike here. He's a bigger Headmaster style figure that you can basically just seat him back in there. And he's actually, when you got him in Fort Max mode, it's a good little storage space for him if you want to do that. You can actually put any real Headmaster figure from G1 in there. We're going to go ahead and slide it over onto the opposite side, where we have, again, a little side on this side of his leg. You open this up, this little stairway where you can store a figure in here if you like. For instance, you could take one of the components here for his sidekick here and put them in there. You can put one on one side, put one on the other when he's in robot mode. You also have here a little it's hard to see through. Slide this panel all the way. On this side, you have a little elevator. This is where you rotate him in. There's back here, which I forgot to show off. This is how you work the elevator and whatnot to get it to raise and lower, which I actually have already raised up. But if you can, I don't think you can see it in there, but there's a little ramp in there. You can take, we'll take this guy here. You can stick him. Kind of awkward to get it to roll in there because of the way it's situated. But you can't really just drive up and slide up in there. You just have to kind of sit them in there. But you again, if you just basically raise them up. And I think he's got home. If you have him situated right, he will catch in there. And then you can, well, yeah, he's catching. His front part is catching right there. Come on. Yep. Yeah, work with me in there. There we go. He's up. Once you get him all the way up on this center ramp here in the front, once you get him all the way up, you just push this and he launches right out. So you got the little launcher there for him. But let's go back to the front and we'll start showing off some of his accessories to this guy. He's got quite a few. Some of his main ones are his main cannons here, which will peg into the side of the conning tower. You have his double barrel cannon, which is shown that you're supposed to stick it on this side. You take his main gun and you stick it on this side for city mode. But as you can see, it kind of hinders this. But if you do it, even if you do it the other way, it kind of looks better. It gives you a little more clearance here. But even that, with G1 helicopters and stuff, this is kind of an awkward place to land. I actually I don't have any G1 figure wise. I know the picture of box art and stuff, they've showed blades sitting here, but I don't have the blades. I do have the little mini-con from the Star Saver team that you can actually kind of sit there. You can have him land like so if you wanted to. But as you can see, it does kind of, the gun does kind of hinder all that. I actually kind of like it because you can slide this. It does peg in back here on the back part of his leg, mostly for the transformation. You slide this, rotate this around to the side, and you have free clearance for whichever figure you want to put here. Again, I have that mini-con, but I also have Alpha Bravo here. Granted, he's a lot much bigger than what a G1 figure is, but you can see he can sit fairly easy on here without, aside from the blades, of course, whacking into the side of Fort Max. But that gives you a general understanding of what you can do with this. Almost forgot here, he does have a little mini radar dish here that applies right here to this little, there's a little peg hole here. You can stick this in, and right here on the side, it's a little, we can rotate it around. Nice little feature for a radar to be added on here, though it's kind of right dead center in his belly button or crotch area for his robot mode. But you can put that there. You also have Cerebros' main body here. Of course, Spike's going to become the head for that, but we'll get fully into Cerebros again here in a moment. You take Cerebros and you can put him right here. You just kind of sits down in here. He becomes like another conning tower or command central or something, I believe is what it's listed as. I also found that if you take his big master sword as he comes with the reissue, you can kind of situate it onto there and kind of make an even more awkward tower. It doesn't really peg in, it kind of more just sits, but you can kind of get it to rest fairly neatly. It makes kind of a little odd looking tower, but you can still do that with him. But we'll just set this aside and we'll take a quick look at Cerebros. Cerebros, all he does is transform him into his robot form. As you can see, it's real simple. Right here is his legs. You rotate these back, straighten them out. You then take right here, which are his arms, and you'll rotate them to the side, and you'll slide them all the way back on each side, like so. You can rotate them up, of course, to fold out his fists. Again, like so, and like so. I apologize, I can't zoom in really on this for him. And you take little Headmaster Spike here, flip him over for his normal transformation into a Headmaster, and just plug them in top of Cerebros, and you have Cerebro's robot form with his Headmaster gimmick here at the top, where he's all maxed out with power. Cerebros does have a couple of weapons to be used. He has his own little gun here, and his own little small sword, or master sword in a way, which you can use. Not too bad. He has no real articulation. He has his arm swivel. His head, of course, doesn't turn around. He got no elbow articulation at all, nor hand swivel. His knees are basically, his leg articulation is basically this for transformation. He has this little bit of swivel gimmick there, also used for transformation. And he has like a side ratchet joint for his knee, which these guys are kind of tight considering how new this guy relatively is. But we'll set him aside, and we'll bring Fort Max's other accessory, his little mini scamper figure here, which is really easy to combine him. First, we'll go ahead and pull these pieces off, which will become his arms. You'll take this lower body and you'll just slide it in like so. And you take his arms, which, as you can see, they're labeled on one side, so you'll put that label on top for his arms. And like so. And he also has his own small pistol that you can give to him. And look, bad thing about him, he seems like he wants to really fall apart, real simple. But he has no real articulation at all, other than his arm swivel here, which if you move it too much, it's going to pop right out. But we'll just set him again. Yep, see, there goes his arm again. We'll set him aside, and we're going to go ahead and transform Fort Max here into his battle station mode. I'm going to go ahead and move all his accessories here just to show how you do it. Nothing really to it at all. Basically, it's Fort Max laying down. To do the transformation for battle station mode, I almost forgot, you want to rotate these panels, these front launch panels here for the launchers here. You swivel them up there on a double swivel hinge, flip them all the way up. You do the same on this side, put that all the way up, and they kind of don't really peg in and latch. You can see that, but actually they do. I think I bet they have little pegs right there in here. Just peg them in and they'll stay firmly there. You want to rotate to the back side and flip this back around, and starting with this leg or this side, it's going to be tough because of the way the ratchets are. Some really strong ratchets here in his legs. But you'll basically straighten these out, pull it all the way straight, rotate right here at the hip, ratchet. Let's see how tough that ratchet is, how strong it is. You'll rotate again right here, all the way down, and then you'll take right here on his foot, and you'll swivel this piece down as well. Just do the same on this side. A little tougher considering this back piece here, but this actually will swivel up for the battle station or spaceship mode as it is. We'll rotate this around like so. Rotate it again at the hip. Rotate this down, and that's basically really it. Aside from, you can actually pull out his cannons. You actually have a cannon on this as well. You'll rotate this up. You'll slide this out just a little bit, and it rotates out and form another double barrel cannon. And you can rotate it back out like so. And this is basically his assault. Let's put his guns and that back on. Battle station mode. And that's basically it. Now, it's pretty cool. You got all these cannons. You got his two sets of big cannons here. You got his big one here, and you got his main guns up here. And that's really it. There ain't much more to it than that. It's just basically you turn him around and stretch out his legs. Now we're going to go into robot form. To do that, I'm going to detach the radar here. I'm also going to pull out his main guns. Set them aside. We'll flip these back down, and we're going to go ahead and rotate this cannon here and flip it back into position for the time being. To do so, we're going to first, it's going to stand them up. We rotate these up into formal positions. You then can basically just reach them up and stand them up like so. You'll then grab here on the basically main tower, pull that apart, and swivel them towards all the way to the back, like so. And there are a couple pegs back here, peg holes, which I'll rotate. They can't zoom in, but again, there's a couple pegs holes here, a couple pegs back here that will peg right into. As you can see, you can hear that pretty good snap. You'll rotate from here, these down, like so, on both sides, like so. This ramp here, you'll fold back to behind the panel here, and you'll again fold this whole panel back to the back, like so. Right here, there's a little cover here that will flip over to cover this gap up, and this one will do the same. It will fold inward like so, and then this panel will flip up to collapse on that. And all we gotta do next is rotate his fists, which in city mode stuff, it's recommended that you have them like this. You just rotate them around, rotate this around, just to straighten it out. And last but not least, don't forget to pull this panel, flip it all the way back, and attach it. And this is his main body and form. We take Cerebros, we'll get rid of his guns and the sword here. We're going to take spikes off the top of them, close this panel back up, and to transform into his head mode, simply close his fists in, like so. Rotate them back, basically back into like you had them before, towards his back, except instead of the legs going straight, they're going to ratchet down and sideways onto his body. There's actually a good little peg on this side. They'll peg into his side. You can hear that snap. Do like so, and then you got it on that side. And this is the front part. All you gotta do is flat this up, and you have Fort Max's head, which will just peg right up here, and you have Fort Max. It's the time. Fort Max in his combined mode. I apologize for that. Full mode. I think I'm going to run through this last part real quickly. You can put his guns on each hand because my time's running out here. Put guns on each of his hands if you want to. Now, one side note, I actually like to, because this whole section here can actually pop off, and it actually makes it look a little better. I'm going to leave this panel on just to show you. I think it makes it look better for his robot form. Looks much better in my opinion. It does, Brad, yes, these forearms and that do raise up and stuff for you. And we also want to show off all his power. We'll raise his main guns out here. Oh, come off. These really quickly. You can raise those guns out. You can even bring the side gun here out to show off all his firepower. But let's not forget the main guns. You can take right here on the sides of the tower. You got two more hidden guns that just pull out and lock into place, one on each side. And Fort Max can let Scorponok or whoever Decepticon's in front of him really have. And you can also, let's not forget, take this main gun out, switch this over, and you can have him holding his Master Sword. Kind of heavy and kind of awkward, but it still looks pretty good on Fort Max here. I'm going to do one last thing to this. We can, if you know third party, you have an extra Fort Max that recently come out, Warden. This is Warden in his Fort Max mode. You can actually remove the old head and you can peg the new head right there on top. It looks a little bit more fuller on him, but you can also take his treads that the Warden had, rotate this around, and it can actually peg right up into his section right here, and kind of for storage for that. And then lastly, Fort Max's other gun, you can actually use, or Warden's gun, excuse me, you can actually take and hold Fort Max and hold it as well to give them that much more firepower. Now Fort Max is really ready to kick some of this gone, but do I recommend picking up this guy? Hell yes I do. I really recommend it. I love this one. I cannot wait for the new Type Master one to come out. I love the fact that Warden can attach to them. That's a great addition that they Perfect Effect did to add to that. But at the end of this, guys, this is going to be the end of my video review. And as always, like I say, please like, comment, and share this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Be sure to check out primetoys.net where you get collector grade toys and not the collector grade prices. You can go in there, add some stuff for Transformers to your cart. Type in the code transmissions at checkout, get 10% off your order. And don't forget to check out the Transmissions podcast, which also sponsored by primetoys.net. We can get listen to them. They got a great selection of comics, talk about news and everything. They also just recently announced that the Till All in One comic that's coming out end of this month, you can pick that up through Prime Toys. They have a exclusive cover through Transmissions that's definitely worth picking up. $10 off Prime Toys. Get your pre-order in for that. But this is again, guys, it's time about saying thanks for watching, and please like, comment, and share this video. And this is time about saying thanks for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon.